What is up, everybody? Back with another top 10 here today. And for the first time ever on the channel, I've got Chris Allo from Sea of Tranquility. Chris, thanks a lot, dude. How's it going, man?
Good, man. Good, Bryce. Thanks so much for having me on. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on your show. Thanks for asking me.
Of course. And I figured you're the perfect guy for this because you're quite the Sabbath expert, as anybody who's seen Sea of Tranquility knows. You've seen Black Sabbath like 60 times or something, right?
Yeah, I think it's like 48,
40. Okay.
5-ish. But I've seen them a lot. I've
Oh,
seen
yeah.
them, 6 times with Tony Martin, which is kind of a miracle because Tony Martin did 5 records with Sabbath, but 2 of them they never toured America on. One of them, the tour got canceled halfway, and one of them was in a brutal winter. We
Yeah.
had like record-breaking snow one year, so I missed 2 shows that year because of winter. So yeah, that I made it to actually see Sabbath back then 6 times with Tony Martin. I'm like, damn. I'm
Dude,
glad I did.
that's awesome. It was Cozy Powell he was touring with Sabbath?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. All I'm trying to think. Yeah, that was all 6 shows had Cozy Powell because Cozy left during the Forbidden tour, but that was after they did the US tour. I can't remember I think for Europe and the rest of the world, Cozy Powell's like, I got enough of this. I'm out of here. And then
Yeah.
they brought back Bob. Oh, right. And Cross Purposes as well. Right. Cross Purposes was Bobby Rondinelli
Mhm.
from Rainbow on drums.
Yeah. And then
Then
Eric Singer on the first album from
Right.
Kiss.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but there was no U.S. tour for that, and there was no. They did some shows in Europe, and that
Mhm.
was it
Yeah.
on the Eternal Idol. So yeah, most of the shows were with Cozy Powell.
So yeah, as we were talking about before I started recording here, a lot of great material here. I'm a huge fan of the Martin years, arguably, possibly my favorite. When I did my Sabbath ranking, I had 3 of these albums in my top 5. So I'm a huge fan of this material, and Chris likes the stuff a lot as well. So we're going to each count down our top 10 songs from those 5 Tony Martin albums, and we'll kick it off with Chris's number 10.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, I definitely did really enjoy the Tony Martin era, and you and I were talking, Bryce, before we went on camera. That some people still don't appreciate the Tony Martin era of the band, but I definitely have the feeling that the Tony Martin era of Sabbath is appreciated now more than ever because in back then it was a lot of you know blank stares and Tony Who and there was no internet, so you couldn't just hear the records and be like, oh, this is really good material. So, and I even I've interviewed Tony Iommi several times, and I know at least one of the times I asked him about the Tony Martin era, and if it kind of bothered him that people didn't give the Tony Martin era it's just due when it was active, and he was like, well, better late than never.
Yeah.
But he was kind of appreciative that people are like it more now, at least, or at least are more aware of it now.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was a tough one, coming up with just 10. For my number 10, I wanted to include all the records, even though I hate this record. I think it's the second worst Sabbath record ever. It's the track "Can't Get Close Enough," which is from the Forbidden record, which I fucking hate. But even though I hate that record, I still saw them 3 times on that tour. Yep. I vividly remember, seeing tons of shows, Bryce. It's hard to remember specific stage rants, but I remember, and it might have been before this track, Tony Martin would say each night, oh, well, this was the fastest Sabbath album since the first one. We recorded this whole album in 2 weeks, and all 3 times that I saw them, even though I love Sabbath, I would say, yeah, it sounds like it. Just the record's terrible.
Yeah.
But parts of the songs I like.
Some decent moments.
Like can't get close. Can't get close enough. I like the middle section. I hate the long mellow intro, and I hate the outro. And I also hate the lyrics. Just the whole concept of can't get close enough to you. That sounds so sappy on a Sabbath record. But man, that riff, that just scathing Tony Iommi guitar riff. So that's my number 10.
Very cool. So my number 10, I'm going to go with the first track from the first album with Tony Martin, The Shining from The Eternal Idol. This one I think it's not the heaviest thing they did, of course, but I think it's got a really good catchy chorus, and Tony's vocals are good. Tony Iommi's guitar playing is great. But yeah, that was my number 10,
Nice.
The Shining.
Very cool. For me, number 9, not my favorite Sabbath record by a mile, but I really like this one track from Tear. I picked Sabbath Stones. It's slow and
It's heavy.
it's got the stomping, pounding, Cozy Powell drums. I don't really love the bridge. It's kind of mellow with the acoustics, but that's classic Tony Iommi of having heavy and then light and then heavy again. Tony always loves those dynamics, but I like the track. They were rumored to make that the title track of the record, which I think would have been great. Then they were flirting with the idea of calling the records the Satanic Verses, which was that big selling book at the time. And then they wound up calling it Tear, which is a shitty name for an album cover. It's a shitty album cover. It's a shitty name. People are always mispronouncing it. It's just terrible. So, we could do a whole episode on mistakes that Black Sabbath did, but that's part of it. But yeah, but I did like that track, Sabbath Stones.
Yeah, I really like that album. I had that. That was in my top 5 when I did my ranking. But
Nice.
yeah, so I'm gonna keep with the same album. I'm gonna go with the song "Born to Lose." Fast paced one, amazing riff, heavy. Love the vocals again. The chorus super awesome and catchy. But yeah, I don't have as much to say as you got, but that's my number 9.
Yeah.
Great song.
Great track. I love the Eternal. That's actually my favorite of the Tony Martin era. That's my favorite of the 5 for sure.
Yeah, I love the first 3. So, for me.
Yeah, Tear has its moments. I like the production on Tear. I think better than Headless Cross. I think I just like the songs better on Headless Cross. But it's still good stuff. But my number 8's from a different record altogether. I did Cross Purposes, Evil Eye. That's the one that has a writing credit from Eddie Van Halen. Eddie supposedly wrote the solo. Again, a big, fat, monstrous riff from Tony Iommi that just repeats over and over again. The story was that Eddie Van Halen came to watch Sabbath, I think it was rehearse, and he got a guitar and he was playing around. And the story, I always thought it was Eddie Van Halen on the record, and that it was a record company situation that Eddie Van Halen couldn't be credited on the track, because at the time Sabbath was on IRS Records and Van Halen was on Warner Brothers. But recently, Tony Martin said on Facebook that he was contacted by Tony Iommi to see if he had any leftover stuff to include on this upcoming supposed Tony Martin era Sabbath box set. And Tony Martin said he actually had the track of Eddie Van Halen playing the solo for Evil Eye. So I was like, wow, that would be really cool if we could finally hear it. But at the same time, history has shown that Tony Iommi is very stingy when releasing unreleased material. So something tells me, even though Tony Martin found it, we're never going to hear it. But we'll see. I hope so. Yeah. Hopefully we could do another video when
sure.
If and when that Tony Martin box set ever comes out.
Hell yeah. Hopefully. And cool. So my number 8, I'm going to go with Anno Mundi.
Okay.
Opening track from Tear, which I've got a freaking cassette copy of.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, CD.
A man after my own heart. That's awesome.
But this one I really love. I think Jeff Nichols is a super underrated part of Black Sabbath. Love the kind of atmosphere the keyboards help add, especially on this song. Has just a super epic feel to it. Love the vocal melodies and just everything about the song. I think is really cool. Good way to start that album. So that is my number 8, Anno Mundi.
Nice. That's a great track, and I completely agree. I think Jeff Nichols was the secret weapon, and it sucked that he wasn't allowed, I guess, to stay with Sabbath, but that's a whole nother thing. We could include that on Sabbath mistakes. But my number 7 is again from Headless Cross, When Death Calls. It's got it's really kind of the epic on the Headless Cross record. It's got the mellow intro, and it builds into sort of a big bombastic explosion. It mentions Satan in the lyrics, and it's got a killer solo from Brian May from Queen. The Martin version of Sabbath, I think they always played this one live, and it's just a killer track.
Of course, yeah, great pick. My number 7, I'm gonna go with only song I'm picking from Cross Purposes. I'm gonna go with Cross of Thorns.
Okay.
I think it's a super cool it's slower a bit, but it's super dark. Great atmosphere again. It's always been a big fan of this one. I think I had it in my top 20. I did a top 20 like overall, all Black Sabbath songs. This one was on that. Just a big fan of it. So yeah, Cross of Thorns, number 7.
Nice. That's a great tune. Just you holding up the album cover makes me think of the Scorpions with that.
Yeah.
I always think, Jesus, how did nobody in Black Sabbath figure this out?
Yeah.
But anyway, that's a whole nother thing. All right, my number 6, the title track, Headless Cross. It's just slow. That's got the slow and prodding bass. Kind of reminds me of Heaven and Hell. It was the hit, I guess from that album. They did make a music video from it, which got played quite a few times. And it's definitely, I guess, probably the most well-known song from the Martin era.
Yeah, it's a great one for sure. So number 6 for me, I'm going to go with another one from Tyr. I'm going to go with Jerusalem. It's just another one that I've always really liked. Love the atmosphere on it again. Love the keyboard work. Just everything about it, I think, is, again, super cool. Love the vocals. The guitar is great. You can say the guitar is great on every single song. Iommi is just a god. But that's my number 6, Jerusalem.
Awesome. And Tony Martin, when he I don't want to say if he was fired, but I guess probably was, when he parted ways with Sabbath, when they got back together with Ronnie James Dio, he recorded a solo record called Back Where I Belong, which I don't think was ever released in the States, but I have a European copy of it. And Jeff Nichols guests on it, and they re-recorded Jerusalem.
Wow.
Which
did not know that.
Yes, it's not as good as the original, but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And when they would, I can't remember the guitarist. I think he was an Italian guy. When they toured, I think Cozy Powell did the tour, if I'm not mistaken. So wow. I think it was Cozy. God, it might have been. Was it Jeff Nichols also? Yeah, it was Jeff Nichols. Bryce, I hope I'm not screwing this up because I got the olds, so I might be
the olds.
Up. But I think it was like Tony Martin, Cozy Powell, Neil Murray, and Jeff Nichols on tour with like a guy it was an Italian guy like Tony Gartini or Tony Guard something. I don't remember, but they did a bunch of Sabbath tunes, including Jerusalem, because that's on the Tony Martin solo record. And in fact, when Sabbath was on the Dehumanizer tour, and then those last 2 famous shows, they couldn't do them because Ronnie James Dio refused to play. Everybody and Tony Iommi was like, "Oh, don't worry, we have somebody that's going to fill in." A lot of people assumed it was going to be Tony Martin.
Yeah.
But Tony Martin was on this other tour in Europe, and he's like, "Well, fuck that! I'm not. You guys fired me. I'm not canceling my shows to come save your ass."
Mm-hmm.
But I have some bootlegs from this Tony Martin tour, which I hope I'm not making up, because I'm just going from memory.
Yeah.
But I'll have to look for that. But Jerusalem. That's a great track.
Cool.
All right, so where are we?
We're at number 5. 5 for you.
All right, number 5 for me. Devil and Daughter. That's my favorite track from Headless Cross. It's fast paced. It's catchy. It's just kind of fun. And I always thought like Devil and Daughter and Black Moon, also from Headless Cross. To me, they could be like heavy Whitesnake songs. I just always like both of them, and just a great fun track.
Yeah, I love that one too. It's great. But my number five, I'm gonna go with the title track, Eternal Idol. This one's super heavy, super doomy. Maybe the like darkest, heaviest song they did with Tony Martin. I mean, maybe not, but
I would agree.
his vocals sound amazing on it too. He's really screaming, getting up there on this one, and just love the riff. Awesome song, Eternal Idol, my number five.
Awesome. For number four, I'm going with Nightmare from Eternal Idol. It's you got that slower, repeating Iommi riff. I love it in the middle when the tempo changes and it gets really fast. Ray Gillen, who of course did the original version of Eternal Idol, his laugh is the laugh track on Nightmare, and I always thought it was really weird that he got left in. But Nightmare was written originally for Nightmare on Elm Street 3, The Dream Warriors. Apparently the producers, there you go. I was going to say the producers apparently went. The story was the producers of Nightmare 3, New Line Cinema went to three bands, Dokken, Dio, and Black Sabbath, and they all submitted songs. Sabbath did Nightmare. Dio was Dream Evil, and Dokken, of course, was Dream Warriors. Of course, they went with Dokken, which, truth be told, that as much as I prefer the other two bands,
Yeah.
that was the winning horse. I mean, Dio was already on the bottom of the slope. And listen, Sabbath were doomed in 1987. It totally made sense to go with Dokken, but we did get a really good tune out of it in Nightmare.
Oh yeah, another great one for sure. So my number four, I'm gonna go with Sabbath Stones, one you mentioned not too long ago. As I said, this one, the drumming from Breakin' Cozy is amazing, powerful, very heavy riff at the beginning there, and just love everything about it. Like you said, for most of the stuff about it, but that's my number four.
Awesome. Well, my number three is one that you just mentioned, the title track off Eternal Idol. It's just dark and creepy and really a haunting track. And, it sort of reminds me of the song Black Sabbath from Black Sabbath. And it's just a very dynamic song and just dark and brooding. And I think, Tony Martin does just such a killer version, a killer vocal on that.
For sure. Yeah, I agree completely. My number three, another one that you had a minute ago. I'm going to go with the title track from Headless Cross.
Nice.
Killer stuff. Cool music video. It's got freaking Cozy Pal and Iommi. Like, how can people not like that? What the heck? But great song. So that's my number three.
Awesome. My number two, again, back to Eternal Idol, is Ancient Warrior from the Eternal Idol record. It's just the most groove-filled song on that record. I could just, every time I hear it, as much as I love the Tony Iommi guitar riffs, I want to play air drums to it. And it's just a great, fun track.
Oh yeah, for sure. And I'm gonna go back to Eternal Idol again here for me. But I'm gonna go with Lost Forever.
It's a great track,
dude.
Just missed my top 10.
Super fast, great riff. Tony Iommi's tone is so good. Love the vocal melodies. Again, very powerful vocal, I think, from Martin. This is one of my favorite Iommi guitar solos. This one and the one I'm actually going to talk about next. Amazing, like super long, great solo. So, that's my number two, Lost Forever.
Nice. And I always wondered if that was also submitted for Nightmare on Elm Street. I mean, I don't know how many songs. I would imagine with most of these guys, most of these bands, they put one or two songs in. And just lyrically, too, I always kind of remembered, like, if that one was also, because it's got, you could kind of see how could be construed as like a Nightmare on Elm Street kind of dream thing. So I always wondered, but yeah, that's a great track. But my number one, I love the song, but also, partially for nostalgic reasons, is The Shining from the Eternal Idol. I mean, it was the first Sabbath song I heard with Tony Martin. I heard it on the radio on Midnight Metal in 1987. I mean, I was 16. I was a humongous Sabbath fan. Couldn't wait for the record to come out. Couldn't wait to see them live. Of course, that didn't happen for a couple of years because there was no Eternal Idol tour.
Yeah.
Just got that big swinging guitar riff from Tony Iommi. I love the catchy chorus of Rise Up.
Yeah.
It's a great track. It almost kind of reminds me a little bit of the new wave of British heavy metal. Just sort of, just maybe it's the chorus, that Rise Up part that just reminds me of that. But plus, it's cool if they took inspiration, I assume, from either the Stephen King book or the movie. But yeah, that's my favorite track of the era, The Shining.
Awesome. Yeah, really good pick. That was my number 10. So I mean,
Yeah,
great song. And my number one, going back to Headless Cross, I'm going to go with Devil and Daughter.
nice.
As you said, I mean, I love everything about this song. This one, I think I listed as either my number 2 or number 3 favorite Sabbath song of all time.
Wow.
So, oh yeah. So I just love the riff, love the vocals, I've heard people say that they think this is a gothic metal album. I mean,
Okay,
it's kind of dark, got some tints of that, I think, on this song, especially with the keyboards and all. The atmosphere is dark.
Right.
Amazing guitar solo. He does kind of like some tapping in there, which is really cool. But yeah, love the songs. That is my number 1, Devil and Daughter. And honorable mentions if you got any.
Oh God, I didn't write any down. But God, I mean, God, for me, everything off of Eternal Idol. That's just, I could have done the whole record. I mean, even the little instrumental Scarlet Pimpernel off, and I love that. I mean, just Eternal Idol, man. I must have listened to that record a 1,000 times. But I really like Headless Cross too. Like Black Moon, I really like. Nightwing is another one I really like. Off of that record. Cross Purposes has its moments.
Yeah. What about No Illusion of Power?
Oh God. And I know I mentioned it on one of the videos we did with Pete for Sea of Tranquility, but Tony Martin had said somewhere that they brought Ice-T in and he recorded the whole record. Like he did vocals for the whole record because they didn't know what they were going to use or not use.
That's funny. I was thinking about this today. Like, I don't know if you've seen that meme with Steve Buscemi. He's like, "Hello, fellow young people," and he's like, it's like Steve Buscemi's just like old with like a backwards hat. And he's holding a skateboard. He's trying to act like appealing to the younger
young
guys. Yeah,
that's funny. I haven't seen
Ice-T, like because Sabbath's like 25 years old at this point. Bringing Ice-T,
right?
Get the younger guys here.
Such a ridiculous thing. But yeah, Tony Martin actually said in some interview I read with him somewhere that he didn't know if he was going to be on the record because he thought maybe it was going to be all Ice-T.
Yeah.
And that record sounds fucking terrible. That Ernie C did a shit job on production.
Yeah.
But that was how they got Ice-T to do it. But well, yeah, what a mess of a record. But I hate that song, Illusion of Power. I just, it's a terrible song on its own, but then adding the Ice-T vocal just makes it even worse.
Yeah, I agree. For me, the one song I wrote down as an honorable mention from Forbidden is the title track. I think that one's okay. I don't know if you think that one sucks, but
it's okay.
I think it's okay. I think it's okay.
Like parts, like I said, even with Can't Get Close Enough, parts of the songs I really like. I just think overall it was just a bit of a mess.
Yeah.
And like nobody wanted to be there. And what fascinates me, I always thought that they went from Tony Martin to Ozzy, but apparently they didn't. Because I don't know if Tony Martin quit or was fired, but Steve Grimmett from Grim Reaper was going to replace Tony Martin.
Really?
And I had heard that rumor, and I interviewed Steve Grimmett and asked him, and he was like, there you go.
It's right here.
He was like, yeah. He goes, I got the gig. He goes, I tried out. He's like, Tony liked me. He's like, we got along fine. He's like, I was the new Sabbath guy. He goes, and then I didn't hear from anybody for a little bit. And he goes, and then I heard on the radio that Sabbath reunited with Ozzy. So maybe,
he just heard it on the radio. He's like, what in the world?
So maybe Steve Grimmett was the backup guy. If the Sabbath thing fell through again, which makes sense because Cross Purposes was a backup album. Because they were supposed to go back with Ozzy, but they had I forget what it was. They had some time to kill, So they wound up bringing Tony Martin back and working on this record, and then they went with it because the Ozzy thing, collapsed again. But yeah, so
Yeah.
Steve Grimmett, we could have been doing a Steve Grimmett top 10
Oh yeah.
if Ozzy hadn't come back to Sabbath, because God, by that was what, 1997. So
Mhm.
what year is this? 20 God, 2021. Wow,
2021.
they could have
Yeah.
done a bunch of records.
Oh yeah, for sure. And just a few more I wanted to throw out real quick. I had Nightmare in my honorable mentions.
Nice.
Heaven in Black, When
Oh,
Death
that's a great track.
When Death Calls, Eyewitness, and Psychophobia. I wrote down. But yeah, Chris, that was freaking awesome. You're the
Yeah,
freaking
awesome.
Sabbath
Thank you so
expert.
much. Thank you so much for having me on.
Hell yeah, man. And what? Maybe have to do something again for sure in the
Yeah,
future. Yeah,
yeah. Just let me know. I'm if I'm not doing stuff for Pete for Sea of Tranquility, then I'm watching crappy movies. So
yeah,
hopefully now that the world is open again, I'll actually be able to go to a couple concerts again. But we'll see. Fingers crossed.
for sure. And yeah, thanks again. And everybody watching, give us your top 10 Tony Martin Sabbath songs. Let us know what you thought about our lists. And until next time, thank you for watching.